demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Ensure that your behaviors reflect the values that should be identified with these student athletes. Assume responsibility for your behavior and the behavior of those around you. If you require assistance, please call upon an MIAA, school, or security official. Let's now welcome our two teams playing in this afternoon's match. And now let's meet the players and coaches from these two fine teams, starting with Canton High School. Number 6, Tegan Patch. Number 7, Mia Griffin. Number 8, Montana Weaver. Number 9, Joyce Lee. Number 10, Annabelle Semina. Number 11, Samantha Norman. Number 12, Megan Timmons. Number 13, Lena Roach. Number 14, Quinn Anderson. Number 15, Grace Adley. Number 16, Maggie Carter. Number 17, Georgia Tyrell. And number 20, Morgan Overly. Westborough High School is led by head coach Roger Anderson and assistant coaches James Packer, Alex Sinclair, Mary Erickson, Steve Erickson, Jeff Will Learning, and Mary Kate Lehman. Our official for this afternoon's match, our referee on the stand, Mr. Jeffrey Zinchuk, referee on the floor, Mr. Matthew Dibble, our two line judges, Ms. Charlene Norton and Ms. Nancy Crew. Earlier this month, the Massachusetts volleyball community lost a friend and one of the sport's greatest advocates and supporter of high school volleyball. Miss Judy Slannon, a Newton resident, passed away peacefully on November 3rd with her family by her side. Judy was the founder of Smash Volleyball and served as the administrator for over 25 years. She served as a high school and college volleyball official for over 25 years and was the chairperson and past president of the Boston Board of Officials. In addition to being an official, Judy served as the director of the MIAA Central Massachusetts Section Girls and Boys Volleyball Tournaments and was the Boys Volleyball State Tournament Director. Among her accomplishments, Judy was inducted to the Northeast New Agenda Women's Hall of Fame in 1997. In 2014, she was presented with the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Volleyball of Fame. The MIAA recognized her as the 2018-19 Girls Volleyball Official of the Year, and in 2022, she was the recipient of the MIAA Massachusetts Women in Athletics Distinguished Service Award. We ask everyone here in attendance to honor Judy with the moment of silence. Thank you. Our great nation has persevered through the leadership and sacrifices of men and women who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. We invite both veterans and current military personnel to stand for recognition. We ask the remainder of you who are able to stand for our national anthem, performed this evening by Westborough High School students Ragna Shashavir and Susanna Gorman.
Good afternoon, volleyball fans, and welcome to the campus of Worcester State University for the Division II State Volleyball Championship. And for the third year in a row, your Westborough Rangers are in this state finals. 2021, a crushing loss to neighboring Hutchinson. Last year, 2022, a season to remember. Undefeated, swept all 5 of their postseason games en route to their 3rd state title. 2023, this time their opponent is undefeated Canton. We'll see what happens this afternoon. Hello again, everyone. Al Hutchinson, along with camera woman extraordinaire Karen Henderson. And we're so thrilled to be once again Westborough TV bringing you this exciting state championship match. Today, I mentioned not a totally unfamiliar, but a opponent for Westborough in Canton that they've played 4 times prior to this one in the postseason. Most recently in 2019, that was the year when Canton won their only state title. Westborough's won 3, as I mentioned, 2007, 2017, and now they're trying to go back-to-back after winning in 2022 as Tegan Patch Jr. will start things off serving for the Rangers. First points go to the Rangers. 1-0, Tegan Patch. And what a story she's been. Called up late in the year from the junior varsity squad, and she's been on fire in the playoffs. Almost 95%. That one is just out, so side out goes to Canton. We'll play a best of 5 here in the state championship. All games to 25, must win by 2. If a 5th game is necessary, it'll go to 15. We've already had one of those here at Worcester State University today. That was the Division III matchup. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. This is Sabelli, their best server. That was Georgia Terrell. Addie Moore and Quinn Anderson taps it over, and it falls for the point to the Rangers. They lead in here early in the first set, 2-1. Zoe Sabelli, the junior, she was serving at almost 91% and had 94 aces on the year. Well, here's another ace master and Maggie Carden for the Rangers. And talk about somebody who's turned it around the last few weeks behind the line. Just right, senior, outside hitter and captain. You'll be hearing a lot about her tonight. She's number 3. She had 357 kills this year for the Canton Bulldogs. They enter at 24-0. They're the number 3 seed. And number 6, Soli Rodriguez Martinez, just a freshman. She's an all-state nominee, or actually player this year in the all-state game. Best of the best in the state. She's a freshman. And there is the other all-state representative from Canton. That's just right. And the Bulldogs take a 3-2 lead. No, I'm sorry. 3-2 Rangers. They reversed. The Bulldogs, I thought, they believed that they had the point. It goes to the Rangers, and this is Montana Weaver, the junior. That one's just a little bit long, as so oftentimes happens in championship matches. The juices are flowing, the adrenaline is kicking in, and so not totally unexpected here in this state title game, Division II. It's Westborough in the red. Cheer right on the camera right now. They'll switch sides later. And Canton, the Bulldogs, in the green. Here's Addie Moore, Sam Norman, and Quinn Anderson finds the corner. She did that so well the other night as well. That last 6 inches to a foot of the court in that corner. And the Rangers take a 4-3 lead. 4-3 now. And Quinn Anderson, the senior captain, will be serving. The defending Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Massachusetts in volleyball. There's Sam. Right again with another kill. She's on fire early. She had 7 kills in the 5th set against Algonquin on Wednesday night, and she's kind of starting off where she led off against the Titans of Algonquin. And what a match that was in the state semis. Other match, of course, was Rangers playing against Longmeadow. Won in straight sets. Georgia Terrell, just a little bit long, and Canton takes a 5-4 lead here in the first set. Just right. I mentioned her already a few times. She's serving. She's the all-state player. She's the big numbers in kills for this Canton team. There's Georgia. Georgia buries it, ties it at 5-5. And Addie Moore, another senior captain, number 2. She'll be serving. So far in the playoffs, Addie with 22. That's her 23rd serve attempt. There's Addie. Sam. Georgia. Ooh. Point goes to Canton. Officials calling it tight here early on. 6-5 in favor of the Bulldogs. I mentioned they're undefeated. They're the number 3 seed. Why would an undefeated team be a lower seed than a team that's lost 1 game as the Rangers have? It's all to do with the power rankings, who they play, the competition. And the Rangers always play the toughest of competitions. They did it last year, and convincingly they did it again this year. Their lone loss, the final game of the night here at Westborough, at Worcester State University, and that will be Newton North. The Tigers will try to repeat as champions of Division I. They're going to be going up against 18-time state champion Barnstable. Quinn just gets it over the net. Rangers with a 7-6 back and forth lead here at Worcester State. First set, Sam Norman serving, junior. She's our setter. Sam. Good serve. Canton gets it over. That's Addie. To Sam. Back to Georgia. Just right with the dig there. At the net. Lena Roach, number 13. A putback. 2-point Ranger lead. Haven't had too many of those here in this first set. It's been back and forth, point to point. Sam will try to give them a 3-point lead here as she serves right with the dig. Over to Erin Bigham. She's just a sophomore. Her sister is Caitlin. We'll hear about her as well. And Maggie Carden with the finish. Not quite an MC hammer, but she put it down anyways. You can't touch this. 9-6 Rangers with the 3-point lead first set. Sam Norman is right again. Bigham. Rangers. Maggie again. Almost. Nice play by their libero. Addie. And Quinn. And it's a 10-6, 4-point lead for the Rangers here in the first set. As Sam Norman sets a serve, or continues to serve, but not until Coach Colley and the Bulldogs call their first timeout of this state championship match. First set, Rangers lead 10-6. I mentioned this being Championship Saturday last night here at Worcester State University. Weston won the Division III state title with a convincing straight set win over top-seeded Medfield. It was the Wildcats' first girls volleyball state title, so congrats to Weston. Before this one, we saw Ipswich with the three-peat. That's right, they've won back-to-back-to-back state titles. They put a 15-9 fifth set victory to win their third straight title against number 2 Bellingham, who had just a sensational season, kind of came out of nowhere. And following this match, I mentioned the Division 5 state championship will get underway with number 2 Bourne trying to knock off the 1 seed Mount Greylock, who is 23-0. And the final championship match, crowning a Division 1 champion, will be Newton North and Barnstable. Sam with the serve, goes over. Addie with the dig to Sam, over to Maggie. Nice block at the net. Maggie right back up though. Nice reflexes by Maggie. That goes in. There's Georgia, there's Sam, and there's Quinn. There it is. Everybody knows it. When she hits it, if you can keep control of it, you're doing a lot better than most. Tough to defend that. 11-6, Rangers with a 5-point lead in Sam Norman, the junior. Is Addie with a great dive to Lena, to Georgia. Quinn, they're keeping that ball up in the air. And now Quinn with the little tap. That left side, that's Sally Hoban, the junior. She's trying to get it over, but the Rangers keep defending it very well. They got Lena Roach and Maggie Carden. And Lena taps it and gets it for the kill. She's off to a great start here in this championship match. The block and a kill already. 12-6 Rangers lead. About halfway through this first set, again, we'll play the best of 5. First team to win 3 will win the state championship. Great serve by Sam. Good to see her getting that rhythm back in her serve. Georgia down the line. 13-6. She's going to have me singing. Sammy Norman serving for the Rangers. They're up 7. Off to a great start. See if they can continue. Sam with a nice serve. That thing dropped and couldn't get it over. It's a 14-6 lead for our Rangers. And a second and final timeout of this first set for Coach Colley. Certainly doesn't like what she sees. Sam is on a roll serving, and because of that, I think she wants to try to ice her, if you will, or at least make her think about it a little bit. So, great crowd down here across the way. We see 2/3 of the bleachers filled with maroon shirts or Westborough garb, Rangers. In front of us, we have the Canton fans, mostly families. And then to our right, the student body from Westborough, and to our left, far left, is the student body from Canton. So great atmosphere, always is state championship games. I tell you, point to point, no better sport out there as far as I'm concerned. The momentum swings, the way the game flows. So Sam, number 11, will be serving. She was at Worcester Academy last year. She was down the street. She wasn't anywhere near Westborough High School at the time. They moved into town, and she's now the setter for the defending champion Westborough Rangers. Tough one to handle. Side out finally, if you're a Canton fan, to the Bulldogs. And they'll have number 13. That's Kelly Schiavo, senior captain, defensive specialist. She had an 89.5% serve rate this year, along with 26 aces. There's Schiavo. Quinn to Sam to Georgia. That one's going to go wide. Again, Bulldogs having a tough time returning the kill shots by the Rangers. 15-7, 8-point lead. And junior Tegan Patch getting set, getting ready to serve for the Rangers. Tegan serving at 9:02 on the season. Unreal. Has 16 aces, about 1 every 5 times she serves the ball. And the Rangers are making sure they serve well, and then they put pressure on the opposition. So the opposition then has to pass well. And if not, you get kind of the results we get right now in the first set, but there's so many momentum swings. As Tegan has a service error there, 16-8, it's an 8-point lead. Georgia will come back into the game for the Rangers. They'll have Georgia Terrell, Lena Roach, Sam Norman, Maggie Carden, Addie Moore, and Quinn Anderson. Here's the Bulldogs. This is Zoe Sabelli. Addie Moore, Sam Norman, Quinn Anderson. There you go, Quinn. There you go. She was fantastic in the championship game here last year, especially in that third and final set. She kind of willed the team to the straight set victory. Was never really in doubt, but Quinn made sure of it and put an exclamation point on it. As Maggie Carden serves, and Maggie with an ace. She leads the Rangers in aces during the postseason. That is now her 17th. She was one better than Quinn to start this game tonight. Here's Maggie. Ooh, just at the back line. Sabelli saved it. And now right. She's a force on that left side. With another kill. She has 4 already, maybe 5 here in this first set. So it's 18-9, Rangers with the lead. Getting near the latter stages of this first set. Again, we played a route to 25 points. Lena is getting it over. Addie, Sam, Quinn. Whoa, what a save by Addie to keep it alive for the Rangers. There's Addie again. There's Sam and there's Quinn. Right down the line. Oh, is that a big point here in this first set? Canton wanted to get a couple of points in a row, see if they could climb themselves back into this one. And after a great save on the dig by Addie Moore, Quinn finishes it off down the left sideline. Here's Montana Weaver. Nice. Over to right. Here's Montana. right in front of the scorer's bench across the way to Georgia. And Quinn tried to go all the way down the line. Tough shot to make. She's actually pretty great at that. Wasn't able to get the good bounce that time or the good fortune. And now number 19, Erin Bigham. She's just a sophomore. 42 aces on the season, a 92.4% serving percentage. There's Addie, how she softens that shot. To Quinn, and then Annabelle Semeter with the kill down the line. I don't know, there seems to be some, a lot of extra refs to our far left there. They didn't think it was in. I thought it was in the whole way. Annabelle. There's Wright. She finishes off another one. Half dozen for her in the early goings here. Set number 1, Rangers with the 20-11 lead, and just Wright, as so often happens, she will take control of the serve. She's 238 serving attempts during the year, just 12 errors, a 95% average. There's Addie, and there's Annabelle again! Off the assist from Sam Norman. And Maggie Carden will now come back in. 21-11 Rangers with the lead. Addie Moore with the serve. First set. Addie. That one's long. Put a little extra on that one. 21-12. Side out to the Bulldogs. And number 50, this is Caitlin Bigham. Senior middle hitter and outside hitter. She's one of the captains for this Bulldog team. And she was a 94% server. But strange things happen in championship games, and there's a lot of pressure on the girls. They feel it. I often talk about the lights get brighter and the games get bigger. Well, it doesn't get any bigger than this. Sam Norman on the serve. Set with Sally Hoban, the junior. She was second on the team in kills with 176. As number 13, Kelly Schiavo, senior captain, will be serving. She's almost 90% server, so they have some girls who have done some great things behind the line serving. Down the left side line for the Bulldogs. That's Sally Hoban. She got frustrated a little bit early in this set, but she's come on strong here in the last couple of points. 22-14, it's an 8-point lead for the Rangers. Here's Schiavo from the opposite end line. Great save by Addie as she almost dove into the stands. Georgia, Sam, Quinn, Anderson. (23-14), Rangers within 2 of taking this first set. Tegan Patch will come in. And in the rotation, Georgia Terrell comes out. So Tegan, who started the match in the state semifinals last week, serving, ended the match serving. Could she be also ending this first match as well? It's 24-14 Rangers as Tegan gets another ace. Here's the junior, Tegan Patch. That should be a good ball for the Rangers. Great save by Quinn. Great save, that's going over. Great save. There's Quinn. Nope. Looking for the deflection there, didn't get it. 24-15, 9-point game. Rangers with the lead within a point of the first set. And here comes Sabelli again. She's already served at least 2 other times for the Bulldogs, who haven't been able to get on any kind of a run. Here's Sabelli, the dig by Addie. Sam, Quinn, knocks it over. There's Wright, Addie, Sam, Quinn. There you go. First set goes to the Rangers. They're up 1-0. They win their 13th consecutive set in this postseason. 50 points. Looking for 50 points. So the Rangers are in the state finals for the 7th time in the last 16 years. In 2007, they won the state title, beating Bourne. In 2013, they played Notre Dame Academy of Hingham. They lost a heartbreaker in 5 sets, 15-12 the 5th set. In 2015, again, they had Notre Dame Academy out of Hingham, and they were just on a run at the time. They beat the Rangers in 4 sets. 2017, the Rangers in the state finals defeated Melrose 3-2 after being down 2-0. They went on a run where the last 3 matches, the Rangers won 25-23, 25-13, and then 15-8. Actually 25-13, then 15-8. They did the same thing. They were down to Medfield in the Elite, or the Sweet 16, and the Elite 8 against Duxbury. They were down 2-0. So that was an incredible year. They won the state title in 2017. Then in 2021, we mentioned earlier, Hopkinton, they lost 3-1. Listen to these scores, though. Rangers took the first set 25-19, and then lost 25-23, 28-26, and 26-24. So 2 of those last 3 matches went to overtime. Rangers, unfortunately, losing each one and losing the state title. But then last year, against King Philip, undefeated, swept the postseason, 21-0. They defeated a very strong King Philip team, or so we thought, 25-19, 25-22, and 25-23. This year, we'll know, well, probably in about an hour or so. Against Canton, the 7th time in the last 16 years, the Rangers have been in the state finals. And back-to-back in state title games. Unbelievable. They've also, if you did the math, they've been in 6 out of the last 10 state title games. So certainly a dynasty and a tradition and a incredible job by Roger Anderson and his entire coaching staff. Canton, too, a perennial, strong volleyball program. Coach Cowley, who actually was the co-founder of the girls' volleyball at Canton back in 2001, and then later became the head coach of the varsity. She has 286 wins. She's in the Mass Coaches Volleyball Hall of Fame. Talk about somebody who left her mark on a program, or is leaving her mark on a program. That would be Coach Cawley. And she has at least one daughter who's one of the assistant coaches. Their assistant coaches rival the Ranger assistant coaches in their number, at least. They must have 8, 9, 10 coaches. A lot of their former players from Canton, as the tradition has gone on with Coach Cawley, they love playing for her, they love being with her, they love the way she coaches. Much like Roger and his staff, a lot of returning players. I see Allison Cotter-Guest, Mary Kate Lehman, a couple of the former players who now coach under Roger for Westborough. As we get underway, second set, Quinn Anderson, net violation against Canton, gives the first point to the Rangers. Cannot make contact with the net. The Rangers will have Maggie Carden serving for the second time in this to start this second set. It's Maggie down the line, just a little wide, a little long. So 1-1. We started back and forth in the first set. I think they were tied up to about 7-7. And then after that, the Rangers went on a run. It was, I believe, Sam Norman was the key to that, serving 6 or 7 points. I think maybe even both of Coach Colley's timeouts in that first set were while Sam was serving. Quinn from a tough angle. Now they go back to right. Right was blocked on that right side. That was Semeter and Lena Roach. There's Quinn. Yep. No problem. 2-1. Bulldogs with the lead. Second set. So serving will be Soli Rodriguez Martinez. She's the libero, and she is just a freshman. And I mentioned she's an all-state player. She had 74 aces during the regular season. Looks like she'll have control of the serve. Her team up 3-1 here. Just starting the second set. Rangers up 1-0 in this best of 5. Division II state championship. Oh, great job by Martinez. And there's Quinn. And a great return. Great dig there. Can't finish up on that one, though. Rangers with the point, get the serve back. And it'll be number 8 junior Montana Weaver in to serve. Bulldogs 3, Rangers 2, second set. Montana trying to set up right on that left side, and she gets another kill. Boy, she gets up and over that net. She's effective. They keep passing it to her and getting it over to her. They're going to be on the better side of things, you would think. Or at least have a better chance. She has over 850 career kills for Canton. Just right does. There's Annabelle. Nice dig. Goes back. That's going to go out of bounds off the attempt by Sabelli. So the point will go to the Rangers. And they'll have the serve. It'll be senior Quinn Anderson. Her team trailing by 1 here in the second set. Here's Quinn. There's Wright with the kill. And a 5-3 Bulldog lead here in the second set. As she'll now have the serve once again. Sabelli comes out and Sally Hoban comes in for that left side for the Canton Bulldogs. Here's Wright. Addie. Sam. Georgia. Woo! Georgia. 5-4. Rangers trail by 1. Addie Moore will have the serve. She's a junior, Georgia Tiro. Everybody who sees her after seeing her last year talks about how much she was great last year, how much even better she is this year, especially at the kill. So right on cue. There you go, Georgia with the kill. Ties things at 5-all here in the second set. Addie Moore serving. Addie with 45 aces on the year, 143 for her career. Hoban, Quinn, to Sam, to Georgia. Martinez, back. That's Sam, Quinn, and Georgia. Soli got it up. Sally Hoban last to touch it for the Bulldogs. They take the serve. They lead 6-5. Much like the first set started. Back and forth, nip and tuck, point to point. 6-5 is Quinn. To Sam, back to Quinn. One of the best in the state at hitting that kill shot from the back row. And the point to the Rangers, so we're again tied at 6-6. And Sam Norman has definitely been working on her serving this week in practice. And boy, it really showed in that first set win. Here's Sam. Went further down that left sideline and Soli tried to make contact with it. Soli Rodriguez-Martinez, the libero, the freshman. She deflected it into the crowd out of bounds, and so the point goes to the Rangers. They lead 7-6. Here's Sam again. Now Soli Martinez, she's going to have to get that over. She does. Great dig by Addie. Now Addie gets it over. Yep. Point awarded to the Rangers. They lead 8-6 here in the second set. Sam Norman serving. Just in. That point just in. And the Bulldogs cut the 2-point lead for the Rangers down to 1. 8-7 second set. And it's number 13, Kelly Schiavo, the senior captain, to serve. 79 points off of her serves this year. This one is long, however, and the side out will come back to the Rangers. One thing I'll say early on, and I think it's probably obvious, when you're playing good competition and the Rangers are as good as it gets, you can't make unforced errors. Must serve well. So here's Teagan Patch, the junior. Teague, down the line, handled by right, back to right, tries to get it over, not in rhythm, timing a little off, and it's a 3-point Ranger lead, 10-7, second set. I mentioned the Bulldogs entered at 24-0. They finished first in the Hockomock League, and just touched there by Soli at the end. Otherwise, that may have gone out of bounds. And a big point there for the Rangers. They lead 11-7. And a timeout for Coach Colley and the Bulldogs. Her first of this second set. Yeah, the Bulldogs had won their round of 32 match, sweeping Milton. Round of 16, they swept Notre Dame Academy of Hingham. In the Elite 8, it went 4 sets, but they defeated Melrose. And in the Final Four, what a match that was against Algonquin on Wednesday night at Framingham High School, with Canton winning 3-2. They took the first 2 sets, 25-21 and 25-19. Algonquin came back, won a crazy third set, 32-30. The Titans then won 25-20 to force a 5th set. And in that one, the Bulldogs clawed their way to a 15-11 win and match win to get to this, the state finals of Division II. 11-7 your score, second set. Rangers up 1-0. Teagan Patch to serve for the Rangers. In front of her, Addie Moore, Sam Norman. At the front line, Lena Roach with 2 of the 4 captains in Maggie Carden and Quinn Anderson. That one went long. Side out now to the Bulldogs. And it'll be the senior captain, Caitlin Brigham, serving. Nope, make that Zoe Sabelli again. Sabelli with a service violation. It's killing them right now. It's killing Canton right now. You can't make the opposition not play the ball, and that's what you're doing. You're making it too easy for them. Rangers up 12-8, second set. I'm okay with that, but Maggie Carden on the serve. She went long on that one, so side out to side out to side out. Sidibe came out. Bigham came back in. That's Caitlin Bigham. And now serving is Soli Rodriguez-Martinez, the freshman. Nice serve, nice dig by Addie. Over to Georgia to Quinn. Soli digs it out. Nobody home. And it's 13-9, Rangers with a 4-point lead here. Coach Colley pleading her case with her players. Doesn't want to see the ball on the ground on their side of the court. Here's Montana Weaver. Montana gets it in. Sabelli, and then the dig attempt by Erin Bigham. She's their sophomore setter. Goes out of bounds, and the Rangers have a 5-point lead 14-9. Here's Montana, as steady as anybody serving the volleyball all year long, including the playoffs. Nice attempt there, but Quinn was ready for it. Annabelle at the net, over the top, with the 15th point of this second set for the Rangers. They now have a 6-point lead and a second and final timeout for Coach Colley and the Bulldogs.
MIAA State Indoor Volleyball Championships. My cost of choice of champions.
So during the playoffs, the Rangers on their run here, they're 21-1 entering. They're the top seed. They're actually the number 1 seed in the state, even though they're Division II. They are the top seed. They were last year as well. Throughout the season and especially at the end, they're trying to do that same thing again, really gelling at the right time of the year. And no doubt that the competition that they face all season long prepares them for this moment. Montana Weaver, number 8. Rangers up 15-9. Gets it in, handled by Sabelli. Over to Bigham. Now Wright just has to lob it over. We love to see her have to do that rather than face it like Quinn did and kill it. The kill down that left line. Whew. I think she took a little pain off the white line in front of the Canton Bulldog bench with authority. 16-9, 7-point Ranger lead. Here's Montana Weaver. Bigham to Wright. Great dive by Montana to Sam. Quinn kept it alive at the net. A joust won by Quinn Anderson. Rangers with a big 17th point here, up 8 in the second set. And Montana will continue to serve just how we like it. Quinn again at the net, taps it down. They can't match up with her. That right side right now for Canton, number 19, Erin Bigham, the sophomore setter. She has never seen a player like Quinn Anderson. Most of the competition hasn't, and right now she's just getting outmatched, outmuscled, and outpointed. And an ace for Montana Weaver. Rangers up 10 here, second set, 19-9. We talked about it a little bit in the state semifinal the other night over at North High School in Worcester. These Rangers are relentless. They keep coming, they keep coming, they keep coming. As the official is going to talk to both captains, the two leaders in kills for their team. Quinn Anderson to your left, Jess Wright on your right. 19-9 discussion, nothing changed. Montana will still have the serve, her team up 10. Montana with the lob. Good ball for the Rangers at the net. Again, net violation against the Bulldogs. They're just not in control right now. And here comes Montana. On the serve. Sabelli handles it to Bigham, to Wright. Handled by Anderson, to Moore. Back to Anderson. That's it. Oh. I thought that was 4. Yeah, that was 4. Up high. Or maybe he called it a deflection. I thought it was a 4th hit anyways, but yeah. Rangers with a 21-9 lead. It grows to an even dozen as Montana Weaver serves. Nice serve by Montana. Tough handle for Sabelli. That one goes wide, and the Rangers right now are just dominating. 22-9. This is the Division II state finals. Montana with the serve. Third hit for Canton. Here's Sam. Annabelle. Quinn. Oh, great save. Going out of bounds by Wright. Just Wright trying to rally her team. There's Quinn. Martinez. And the big point for the Bulldogs. Willed by Jess Wright with an incredible save right in front of the bleachers down below. Kept it alive. And then ended up getting the final kill for that point. 22-10. Rangers up. And this is Erin Bigham. Quinn to Sam, back to Quinn with the right hand going over the net as she faded away to the left. There's Wright, right to Quinn, to Sam, right back to Quinn. At the net, keep it alive. Point to Canton. I believe that was Iffy Ajanaku. She wears uniform number 27, a junior middle hitter for the Bulldogs. Now Bigham. Nice dig by Addie. To Sam. To Quinn. Lobs it in. Rodriguez Martinez kept it alive. And that was Ajanaku. Now back to Georgia. Down the sideline. And Georgia way in the back of that 29-foot, 6-inch side of the court. And Georgia with the kill, 23-11, second set. Rangers within 2 of taking a 2-0 lead here in the Division II state championship. Sabelli up to Bigham, back to Wright, blocked on that right side. But point goes to Canton as it was deflected out of bounds. Block attempt by Sam Norman with Annabelle Semeter on that right side. Side out back to Canton. That'll be Jess Wright, senior captain. Montana. Sam. Ooh, deceptive. Try to put it on the floor after the second hit. So 3 in a row for the Bulldogs. Trying to fight their way back into this one, trailing 23-13. And Wright will be serving. Chloe Dubisson, sophomore. She'll come in for Charlotte Clive, the junior. There's Montana, Sam, Georgia. Another net violation called against the Bulldogs. So the Rangers within a point of taking this second set. Annabelle out, Maggie Carden back in, Addie Moore to serve. Addie. Is Hoban, blocked at the net. Referee right in front of us, I believe that was Maggie who got her fingertips on that. And on the attempt by Canton, the Rangers take this second set 25-13 and lead 2-0 in this Division II state finals. We're coming from Worcester State University, Westborough TV, happy to be bringing you this. Always bringing you the most exciting of all action. And today we're here for the D2 State Championship. Rangers up 2-0 and making a very, very strong Canton team look pedestrian, I guess, at best right now. They're going to have to make some changes if they want to force maybe even a fourth game or a fourth set, let alone get it to 5. And that's where Canton needs it to go if they want to end the year undefeated and as the D2 state champions. They're out of the Hockomock, Canton is, which also has King Philip, last year's representative here in the state title game. Westborough beat them 3-0. 3-0. And then Franklin, Oliver Ames, Attleboro, all strong programs. And Coach Colley has really had a great run tenure here as the head coach of the Bulldogs with multiple Hockomock League titles. And that's a good league. Those are some really strong teams. I mentioned they beat Danvers 3-2 in the state championship in 2019, winning that 5th set, 15-13. So some of the things our Rangers have done in their 4 years, the past 4 seasons. Remember, 2020 was the COVID year. They have 73 wins in 75 matches overall. 73-2. They're 57-1 in the regular season, and the lone loss came this year back in October to Division I's defending state champion, Newton North. They're 40-0 in league play over the 4 seasons. So nobody on this team, including Quinn and Addie, who were here as freshmen, have ever lost a league game. They have 60 sweeps, 60 shutouts in 75 matches. That's 80% going into today's game. They're 41-0 at home. They never lost a home game. They're 28-1 on the road. They had 23 sweeps at home. They had 23 sweeps away during the regular season. They lost just 9 sets during the regular season on both the road and at home, 18 total, while winning 172 sets. That's over the last 4 seasons. In postseason play, they're even stronger. They're 13-1, including 9-0 at home, where they swept 8 matches and lost only 1 set. And not once did they have to travel to their opponent's gym. They never had a playoff game on the road. Neutral site, yes. On the road, at your opponent's gym, never. Unbelievable stuff. Certainly one of the toughest schedules in the state, and they were still able to accomplish, not one of, I'm going to say it again because it's important, the toughest schedule in the state, year in and year out, and this is the competition, and this is the dominance of what they've done over the last 4 years. All right, we're set to get underway. 3rd set. Tegan Patch will be serving. Her team up 2-0. Rangers now 25 points away. Hoban. There's Tegan to Sam to Quinn. Oh, what body control by Quinn. Wow, not to hit the net there as she killed it. 1-0 Rangers, big point. Tegan Patch serving. Wow. She knew she was close. Never made contact with the net. We have a referee 1. He's up high. A referee 2. He's on the other side, right down the line. And then we have a line judge on each end. So side out goes to Canton. Sabelli will come in. We're tied at 1-1. 3rd set. Zoe Sabelli. Just 41 errors on 425 serve attempts on the year. That's a lot of serves, folks. Point goes as it just was a little bit wide, just to the left of that line if you had Quinn's viewpoint. 2-1, Bulldogs with the lead. Sabelli, Addie Moore, Sam. Quinn with the kill. Point was going to him anyways. I think there was a violation against Canton, but 2-2, Rangers tie it up here in the 3rd set. And senior captain Maggie Carden serving. So a side out now to the Bulldogs, who lead 3-2 here in the 3rd set. Maggie actually got her 100th career ace in the state semis Wednesday night. 10th most in career aces in Westborough High School history is Maggie Carden. Here's the freshman, Soli. Now Quinn. Soli gets her fist on it. Got to get it over Sabelli. Nice dig by Georgia. Here's Lena. Lena, the lefty, on that right side, coming over the top with the left. The Rangers tied at 3-3. They'll get control of the serve. Montana Weaver in, the junior, number 8. There's Montana. Nice serve. Right with the kill. And Canton goes back in front 4-3. So just like the first 2 sets, point to point, back to back. We'll see if it holds true. It was around the 8th or 9th point that things started to go the way of the Rangers in the first 2 sets. Let's see if it gets to that here in this one. Quinn to Sam, back to Quinn, gets it over. Bigham to Bigham, and that one is long. Point to the Rangers, we're tied at 4. 4-4 your score. Number 14, Quinn Anderson. She's going to leave here number 1 all-time in kills, number 1 all-time in aces. She's number 2, I think, all-time in digs. And there's Wright with the finish for Canton. That's what the crowd's been waiting for. She was hot in the first set. Rangers cooling her off a little bit. Coach Anderson talking words of encouragement to Annabelle, perhaps about the defense played there. There's Montana to Georgia. Back to Quinn. There's Hoban at the net. Can't get it over, and the ball will go back to the Rangers, and what do you know? We're tied 5-5. Addie Moore, number 2, senior captain, 4-year varsity player. There's Addie. Good ball for the Rangers. Georgia. Sam. Quinn. 6-5. Bulldogs get the serve back and have the lead. And this is Bigham, the senior Bigham. Caitlin, number 50, serving. 94% server on the season heading into today. There's Hoban, Addie, Sam, and Georgia at the net. And the point to the Bulldogs. And they lead 7-5. A 2-point lead here in the third set, early goings. And Caitlin will be serving. Sam to Georgia. And a kill by Georgia. She was tough the other night, Georgia was. She had 9 kills the other night. She was right there, right around 10 for the Rangers. Sam Norman serving. Hoban. Net violation against the Rangers. This one called. So it's 8-6. Again, a 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Trying to get some momentum. It's a game of momentum for sure, this volleyball is, and it's amazing how it can turn around in a hurry. So any chance you have of squelching long rallies is always advisable. There's Addie. Georgia with the right hand at the net. There's Soley. Quinn handles it to Sam, to Maggie. Block at the net, kept it alive. Back to Quinn. Soley. At the net, Georgia with the block. There's Maggie. And Maggie right at Sally Hoban. Not much Hoban could do with it there. And a big, can't touch this, MC hammer right there. 8-7. Rangers get the serve back, trailing by 1 here in the third set. And Tegan Patch will be serving. Tegan with 4 aces in the postseason. Service violation there against her. 9-7 your score. Again, a 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. And this is where the Rangers have kind of taken control of the sets right around this point. just before somebody hits double digits. They'd like to continue that. There's Sabelli, their best server, to Sam, back to Quinn. Quinn back row is Sabelli. There's Bigham to Soli, Georgia, Sam, and Quinn. Down the line. That left quadrant of the court. Quinn went where they weren't. Rangers trying to tie it up now. Senior captain, Maggie Carden. Rangers trail 9-8, third set. That one's going to be long by Maggie. Momentum. Back to the Dogs. They lead by 2. They'll have the serve. And it'll be the freshman who during the year was an 85.6% server and had 74 aces. Is Georgia to Quinn, to Lena. Lena at the net. Touched over to right. She's not going to be able to play that one. Point to the Rangers, side out. They'll have the serve. Montana Weaver will come back in. Her team trails 10-9. Here's Montana. Montana wasn't even in this state 3 months ago. They moved here as well. And they got an excellent server and teammate. And there's Quinn, and a great job by Soli. She wanted that one. Very expressive. Soli Rodriguez Martinez, the freshman, who had 250 digs heading into this one. Not able to handle a dig by Quinn, but there must have been a point violation against the Rangers as Bigham, number 19, Erin, has control. She's the sophomore setter for this Canton Bulldog team. There's Sam, Annabelle, and one at the net, right in front. That's a big point for them. Caitlin Brigham, and a timeout. The first of this set, the first of the afternoon for the Rangers, who trail by 3, 12-9 here in the third set, although they remain up 2-0. Best of 5, as I mentioned early on. First team to win 3. Rangers just have to win the next one. I'm sure Canton's thinking the same thing. Canton does have to win the next one, or else this season is over. The play has been spotty at best on the Canton side, and I think that's kind of affecting just the overall mood. Even their fans are just kind of like waiting for either the other shoe to fall or for something great to happen. They're up here now 12-9, about halfway through the third set. And serving will be Erin Bigham, sophomore. 600 assists on the season as the setter for the Bulldogs. There's Quinn, who just gets it over. Soli, over, and Wright can't finish that one off, stays on her side of the net. Point goes to the Rangers, who are within 2, 12-10. And probably no better player to have serving than Quinn Anderson, who I think actually enjoys the pressure of the big moments. Quinn. Back to Wright on that left side. Quinn with a great dig. Great dig by Quinn. Up. And stayed on this side of the court. And it's a 1-point game. Rangers move to within 1, 12-11. With Quinn Anderson, who's heading off to Stony Brook in New York next fall, serving for the Rangers. Oh, beautiful serve. Nice dig by Soli. Here's Anderson. To Norman, to Sanibel. Make that Annabelle Sanibel. Woo! Sameter, Annabelle with the kill. 12-12, Rangers tie things up here in the third set. They're within 13 points, possibly, of the state championship. Quinn Anderson. Now, nice hit there by Bigham. the senior who had 71 kills on the year, finishes that one off for Canton. They regain the lead 13-12, and it'll be Jess Wright, the senior captain, serving. Here's Wright. Here's Montana to Sam to Georgia. One from Montana to Georgia there. Antenna violation. Point goes to the Rangers. Cannot hit the antennas that are extended beyond the net. Well, you can, but if you do, your team's not going to get the point. That's what happened there to the Bulldogs. Addie Moore. Great serve with some drop on that one. Over to Sally Hoban. Quinn can't get to it. Addie can't get to it. Fortunately, they avoid the collision. Great effort on both parts. 14-13 Bulldogs with a 1-point lead. And this is as late into our set as they have been all afternoon long. With the lead, 14-13. Sam to Georgia. That one is just long, just beyond the end line. And so it's now a 2-point lead for Canton, 15-13. As Caitlin Bigham serves. There's Montana to Sam, back to Quinn. Sam with the kill for the Rangers. Not bad for a setter. Sam had 16 kills up going into today's game. That's a big one. It gives her team the point, gives them the serve, and she has control of things right here on that serve. 15-14, Westborough trails Canton. Make it 16-14. Great kill on that left side by Sally Hoban. I have a feeling we're going to hear more about her. She's just a junior. She has 325 plus career kills for the Bulldogs. And number 13, Kelly Schiavo, the senior captain, into serve, a 90% server during the season. Georgia with the right hand and body control, and a big point again for the Rangers as they trail by 1, 16-15. And it'll be Tegan Patch serving. Deep breath. Here's Tegan on the serve. Down the line, and Tegan with the ace. Another one, the junior. And we're tied at 16. 16 all, third set. You may see Coach Janice Spofford on the sidelines looking at, always paying attention and to detail, and looking at Tegan, telling her where she should serve to. Hoban, a nice dig by Addie. Back to Quinn, and Quinn with the finish. What a big point that was there for the Rangers. Nice dig again by Addie. Kept it alive. Quinn set up by Sam Norman. Timeout for Canton. They trail this third set, 17-16, and trail in the match 2-0. I was talking a little bit about Coach Spofford and just her instruction to the servers. She also works exclusively with the setters, being one herself back in the day. I can say that, right? And then we have the Aronsons, both Mary and Steve. Steve's been with Roger, not the longest, but for a good long time. Behind Roger right now, you might see Jeff Lerman. I believe he was the first assistant coach with Roger back in 1999. And we have Coach Kylie Murray, who does a great job encouraging. She's their life coach. She's always positive and just a great influence on the girls and making sure they're well in all phases of the game. Mary Kate Lehman, a former player. Alex caught a guest down there as well. Great staff. Roger will be the first to tell you. Couldn't do it without him. Here's Tegan to Sam to Quinn. Here's Sally Hoban at the net. Point goes to the Rangers. Rangers 7 points away from back-to-back state titles. Tegan Patch serving. This was around the time where Quinn was putting an exclamation point on everything, on King Philip's season, on everything. And right there, Tegan Patch. Just one of those kids you always want to root for. She's such a good teammate. As a junior, took her a year with the junior varsity team and worked on her skills, worked on her serving, obviously, and got her to this point. Here we are in the state title, and she's serving with the chance for her team to win back-to-backers. That one's going out of bounds. Quinn with the kill. Last to touch it. Rangers first 1-20 here in the third set. Up 2-0. We're 5 points away with Tegan Patch serving. This is where the goosies come out. This is where I start getting nervous, anxious, happy, excited, thrilled for the girls in the program. There's Tegan. Sally Hoban. Tegan with a nice dig. Right hand by Quinn, got it over. At the net. Oh, point. Yep, I guess it did go over. Maggie tried. That was a Janaku. Last to touch it for the Bulldogs, who trail by 3, 20-17, and really need Sabelli to be at her best. A 91% server during the regular season. Maggie Carden. Is that the hammer, Maggie? 21-17. She'll have to serve. They're within 4 points. And look who's coming in. Mia Grandin. And a timeout for Coach Colley. Just as the Rangers were going to make the serving change. Maggie was going to come out. Mia was going to come in for the Rangers. Now Grandin will have to think about it a little bit more. She had 27 assists as a setter in the first match for the Rangers during this postseason. I'm talking about Mia Grandin. She came in after Sam Norman started for the Rangers. That was against Somerset Berkeley. But she has been one of those players during this postseason who, when called upon to serve, she's been outstanding. I'm trying to get some stats on her. So she's actually only had 2 service errors in 54 attempts. That's 96.3% serve percentage. There's a reason Roger Anderson, head coach of the Westborough Rangers, is putting in Mia. It has as much to do with her ability and her skills. And Mia, a junior, will be serving. Wow, talk about a time to come off the bench, huh? Woo! She's trying to relax herself, waiting for the official. There's Mia. That one's long. We talked about it early in the game, right? That was Mia's first shot at it. She comes right out. Maggie Carden comes back in. Such a tough situation. But she's been so effective. I mean, you don't see 96s thrown around in serve percentages anywhere in the state. And Mia has been fantastic and had 9 aces during this run for the Rangers. There's Addie to Sam to Quinn. I say that she's the quintessential player in the state. And I'm not joking when I say that. She's just who everybody or anybody would want as a teammate, as a captain, as a volleyball player, and as a person. Montana Weaver. Bigham tries to go back. Montana to Sam, to Annabelle, and Sumner puts up point number 23 here in the third set. Rangers up 5 within 2 of doing, in some ways, once again, 2 years in a row, the incredible, sweeping the postseason. Montana just couldn't get it over. Side out to the Bulldogs. It'll be their sophomore setter, Bigham. Erin serving. There's Quinn to Sam, back to Quinn. Solely handled it, got it over, right side, nice dig and another nice one. It was Montana and Addy, couldn't get it over. And we have a 23-20 three-point game, third set. This is where you got to get up on your feet if you're a fan. Either side, especially Canton, you got to rally your team. There's Bigham, Quinn, Sam, Quinn. Down the left sideline. Now they're up across the way. They're within a point. Up 4, and look who's serving. Isn't this appropriate? Quinn Anderson, for the second year in a row, the Westborough Rangers going for the state title of Division II. But says, hold on, not yet, says Just Right. We want the ball back, 24-21. So the way this works is we're going to be playing beyond 25 if it's not a 2-point victory. Right now it's 3 points. It's 24-21. Rangers with the lead. And it's back to Quinn Anderson. Quinn back handled. There's Hoban for Canton. Montana. Sam. Georgia. There's Hoban again. Blocked. Annabelle. Sally Hoban says, take that. I'm not done yet. 24-22. I'm still wondering why this Canton crowd isn't on their feet. They're within a point of losing the state title. And now they're within a point of tying things up here. And Roger Anderson and the Rangers call a timeout. His team up 24-23. Big next serve for Canton. They can't foul on the serve because that would give the Rangers their 25th point and give them the match and the state title for the second year in a row. Looking across the way right at center court, and I see a couple of Andersons. Mom Beth, brother Cole. Younger brother Bryce is somewhere around here, I'm sure. Ranger fans trying to rally their team. They lead here in the third set, 24-23. Just Right, senior captain. Montana to Quinn, to Georgia. Nice save by Soley. Over to Hoban. Quinn. Sam. Georgia. Georgia! Georgia! Can you believe it? For the second year in a row, the Division II state champion comes from West Main Street in Westborough. For the second year in a row, the Rangers sweep the competition in the postseason play. This is great at the end of the two teams underneath the net. Lots of emotion. The handshake between these two clubs. The Bulldogs see their undefeated season go by the wayside. The Rangers just continuing their dominance, not just in Division II, but in the state, winning the third set, 25-23, to sweep this state final 3-0. So 61 sweeps in 76 matches in these 4 years since COVID. And you think about some of the records that were broken by Quinn Anderson, and then some of the records that were challenged by people like Addie Moore and Maggie Carden. And you think about all the wins that this group has had and the different teams that they've had. Christine Lee and wow, name just went right out of my head. I'm trying to think of the team from 3 years ago that went to the state finals against Hopkinton. And, you know, just the different teams that they've had. Last year, they had a different setter. That was Shannon Clark. She had been there in 2021. And then she did the job in 2022. And now this year they have a new setter in Sam. As we're seeing Brian Callahan, the principal of Westborough High School, and the athletic director, Levi Hansen, giving a hug to head coach Roger Anderson, and an applause for the Canton Bulldogs on their great season. And what a competition. So there's the 4 captains for the Rangers: Quinn, Maggie, Annabelle, and Addie. About to be presented by the MIAA with the Division II State Championship Trophy. Westborough TV camera woman Karen Henderson and I talk all the time about, you know, going into these games, you think, okay, well, maybe this is going to be a real challenge. Maybe we're getting nervous, we're getting a little antsy. And it's the Rangers, I've said it before and I'll say it again, they just have a habit of making really good teams just look like an average team. They did it last year in the state finals against King Philip. They just dispatched a very strong Canton Bulldog team. And it's great to see the team and the student body celebrate on the court for a second straight year. So much fun for all their fan base. Just want to go down while we have a little time here as we're watching the celebration on the court. I just mentioned some of the players who maybe didn't get mentioned much during the contest tonight, and the impact that they've had on this team and how hard they practice and work the first and second group. Anna Goretti and KK O'Reilly, who got injured towards the end of the season but did a great job serving this year in her sophomore season. And seniors Pragna Shashadar, who sang the national anthem so beautifully with Susanna Cohen before this one. And then senior Joyce Lee, who had a sister on the team a couple of years ago. And then Megan Tibbetts, another senior, always working hard, always encouraging her teammates. Not everybody can start. Not everybody can get the playing time that they probably want. But as a team, somebody once said that success is when nobody cares who gets the credit. And that's kind of this Ranger team. I'm also going to mention some juniors on the team, Morgan Oberle and Anna Goretti, I mentioned earlier. Those will be 2 players who will be counted on next year by the coaching staff. And then Grace Hadley, KK O'Reilly, and Layla DeTulio, who came up from the junior varsity at the end of the season to be part of this postseason run. It's going to be a fun future. It's been an unbelievable 4 years for this group. Certainly the last 2 unprecedented with the back-to-back. And can't be happier for the parents, the coaching staff, the school, the community, and the girls themselves, the players. And I'm looking down at the field, down at the court, and I see like Kate Capello, and I see Caroline Brosnahan, and some of the players from last year's state championship run in attendance. It's always great looking over and seeing some of the former players from the past in the stands, even the parents who come years and years later, just part of this volleyball family and program at Westborough High School. Great stuff. They did it again. Had that little blip at the Newton North game, and I don't want to go back to just the loss, but that was the day that earlier in the day, unfortunately, Maggie Carden has sustained an ankle injury, and I had a feeling it was going to change some things that night. It's just so hard to do. You count on Maggie for so much, whether it's her serving or her middle play, her blocking, whatever it might be. And they struggled, but they were playing another top-ranked team in Newton North. But they came away from that. They end the season on a 9-game win streak. I think they won 20. Let me see if I can find it in my notes. I know they only lost one set in something like their last 60. I'm going to find it for you before we go off the air. Not that it's that important. The important thing is the teams out down below, they're celebrating another state championship for Westborough High School girls volleyball. Again, congrats to Canton High School on their season, Coach Colley, and their bid for a second state championship. For the Rangers, they win their fourth, 2007, 2017, 2022, and 2023. Again, just like last year, in convincing fashion. Some of the same individuals, but some new ones as well. It's fun to have the camera crew and broadcast crew for Canton to our left today. You don't usually see that in championship games, with both teams having representatives from their local TV, and Westborough TV is once again proud to be bringing you all the exciting action of Division II girls state final here from Worcester State University. The other day I said to one of the Westborough players, I think it was Addie Moore, ho-hum, another year, another state final. Well, I was definitely only joking, because it never gets old. It's always great drama and fun, and it's always great to see how far out of their comfort zone and how much the girls can improve as the season goes along. Can almost always count on them being a better team at the end than they were even midpoint of the season. It's amazing how they turn it on. Congratulations to the Westborough Girls Rangers, coaching staff, parents, everyone involved. Another great season. Westborough TV, Karen Henderson, Al Hutchinson. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Rangers take it, second year in a row, Division II state champions.